Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Ishvara, Guru, and this little Atman, or this individual, all are same, but for the difference in form. So if you consider this and live as the Chaitanyam or consciousness, what more we can ask for?
As I told you that I was going to the retreat, I came back after 5 days. So I came back yesterday night. And the format of retreat is changing so rapidly for me, which I'm taking for many years. Because the core of even a disease is that who is suffering and why suffering and how to get rid of suffering or to decrease suffering. The answer comes back to it, that who is suffering. Once you touch that, and once you know, you can't say anything, you can't tell a lie to anyone, that who is the sufferer. Like you can talk about the cause of suffering, it's genetics to the body, or wrong diet, wrong thinking, too much of anxiety, any disease happening to the body or mind, you can find some reason behind it. Sometimes no reason behind it, sometimes multiple reasons, we call it multifactorial. But at the end of the day, it comes, disease affects mind or body. And are you mind or body? So it affects, like you're driving your car and it's affecting your car. So it is a problem with the car, not you. To come to that understanding in 5 days with a person who has never even thought about it is profound. And I was so emotional on the last day, because last day we did a very small practice, like a ritual, that what you want to leave here and what you want to take back home. So two papers, on a red paper, leave here, and that we burnt together in a pot, and what you want to take written on a green paper, and you take it home. And you will not believe that most of the people wrote this 3-letter word, ego. So from a person who has nothing to do with, or maybe something to do with spirituality, but never actually thought, in 5 days they have opened up so much that, and it was not just meditation. We were talking about nutrition, diet, exercise, emotional healing, social support, meditation, a lot of things. But when it comes down to one thing which they thought is very important to leave for healing, is ego. And this is so profound. It was so profound for me. I don't know how others felt, but it was for me, because I should say honestly that I never expected that this answer would come. Maybe whatever happened in 5 days, they thought that this is the most important thing. Maybe it was in the teaching, or the way the group was, or the energy of the group. And it was so beautiful. And at the end, there is a time of reflection and farewell, which is like couple of hours. In most of it was silent only, because I we did all the talks, and in reflection somehow it went silent, and silent was not uneasy to anyone. This was again such a good thing, because usually what happens is, if you are in a group where um, people feel very uneasy in silence, isn't it? In a group, like there are 20 people sitting together and they think that someone should crack a joke or say something, and this is so beautiful, and this is only because of you. When you think about this and you stay this, then you become independent of your mind, and you don't need mind to even converse. Silence can speak out a lot. And and, and exploring spirituality together in a satsang is such a beautiful way, because then it unfolds, it actually clears a lot of doubts. What is spirituality? And in these 5 days I had a lot of time in which I could just be in a lot of silence. It was like a retreat for me as well. And suddenly I realized that what is enlightenment, what is freedom? Freedom is when you're not dependent on anyone. Really, from my heart I'm saying, like, people say social networking, LinkedIn, job, you need to know people, you have to, but somehow, somewhere here, you'll have no desire, no, nothing from anyone. You don't need anything from anyone for any reason. Not like for small things you will not ask help, for big things you will still ask help. Nothing. It just disappears. You are so involved and so much in that purity of self, or you can call it God. I love to call it God. That your connection with the word, because how are we connected with the word of images and people? By give and take. When this give and take disappears, maybe the take might stay, who knows, but take and give both disappear. You don't want anything from anyone for any reason. If it happens, it happens, but you don't want any. And I always believe in the core of my heart, if a sage, so-called sage, is asking money for anything, that cannot be spirituality. If the money is involved in spirituality, that can never be spirituality. Like a talk of 1 hour or 10 minutes and charging $100 or $50, that is business. That can't be spirituality, because it can never come to you. How much money you need? You tell me, how much money? Bhagavan had 3 rupees, he left it, and he still lived another, more than 50 years without money. So when this is actually what Bhagavan symbolically showed to us. This is exactly happens when you are free. You don't want anything from anyone. And not just with the word, you don't want anything even from God. Because this is not a prayer of begging that give me Shakti, give me power, give me Siddhi. No. Just love. And your love for God, love for that self. There is no asking from people, from the word, and not even an asking from the God. If some giving happens, it happens. So this is so beautiful. Like you might be surprised that people think there will be more connection. Yes, the connection is that you are giving, you are compassionate, but you don't want anything. And your connection, so here the connection, because your dependence is completely gone from the word. What is obstructing us? What is obstructing us to know God? Our interest in the word, that's all. What is mind? What is mana? What is man? What is mind? It is our interest in the word. Somehow we are interested. Whatever we say, we lie. But the only thing which tells us the truth is our mind. That we are still lying. Because the moment The moment you are committed to the God, the mind will dissolve, because mind's function is to connect you to the word. That's all. When your interest is in God, the mind will dissolve on its own. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to worry about mind. That's why to keep worrying about the mind is a useless task. We should worry only about God. Think about God, live in God, do prayer, devotion, contemplation, inquiry, whatever. You can call that God as awareness, self, doesn't matter, but it is God only. When your interest is here, when your only interest is there, mind has to dissolve. Mind is there just because of our interest, because we still have some business transaction going on with the word. And believe me that you can do millions of years of all these practices, but if you still have connection with the word, no, I need a connection this much, 10%, 5%, 1%, 0.001%, you can never be free. Because freedom is from the word, dependence on the word. Who is independent? Who is free? What is freedom? Freedom is when you are not dependent on anything. You are completely free. Till you are dependent on even on a single person or a single thing, and you have that fear of an employer, or I lose my job, or I lose my kid or wife, or whatever, even the smallest of thing, I don't know, it could be the very smallest thing, just one thing attaching to you. So that is what the mind is. Mind is fake. Mind is just our creation to connect with the word. You can't have both. You can't have laddus in both hands, what should I say, sweets in both hands. You can't say, look, I have God and I have word, and look, I am a king. You can't. You have to drop word. You have to give up that connection. Then this connection is already there, but it should be a complete turnaround. Without complete turnaround, it's not possible. So this thing came so clearly, because I have been with people who are spiritual seekers for very, very long time, and they look like why they are not getting it. But when you come close to them, you sit with them, you talk to them, you realize they have so much of interest in the rest of the world, rest of the things around us. They're always looking for something. Because in this journey of taking these retreats, I come across people who are doing for 40 years, 50 years of meditation. Can you believe? 50 years, 40 years. They have written big books on meditation. But then they are always having an agenda, a plan. They are interested in someone because that someone can give them something. Someone can give them something about something. They have interest, not just a lot of interest. This is the problem. You might see a sage, a free being, surrounded by people. Maybe someone living as a beggar in forest and now has an ashram. That's a different thing, because that attraction of him brings people there, and they give, and they want to stay together, and they build up an ashram. That's a different thing. But he's not after money. He's not after people. He's not after anything. Because we live in society, we still interact, but internally he's completely detached. He's not looking forward. You must have seen when a party invitation comes, people say, I'm looking forward to the party. Many years back, I thought, why people write this looking forward? And I asked a few of my friends who were very close, I said, do you just write to please others that you're looking forward? They just, no, we are looking forward to the party. It will be so nice to have a party. Then I thought, they are really looking forward. I thought they're just joking. So I think people look forward to the parties. And then I realized that there's something, software has gone faulty in me many years back. I feel as a compulsion to go there just because living in family, never looking forward, never ever. Because the contentment within you is so much. What are you looking forward in a party, More indulgence to the sensory organs or the body or good food? you know. I don't want to say about a sect or something, but I was in close association with those sannyasis, and they were, and I used to go with them to a rural hospital, and I revered those sannyasis and sages who were going with me, and they are looking in the pond a big fish to eat. They were choosing. I would. Can we have this one today? Look, the interest can be, changing clothes doesn't change your interest. You can be living in forest and you're still interested in so many things in forest. Leaving everything is not an answer. You can still consume things, but you have zero interest. If someone takes away the plate of all that delicious food, it doesn't matter too much. You can, whatever is being served, you will accept. So that is total acceptance. Whatever comes, and you take with folded hands, you are not after things. I think this is thing, after things. If you're after anything, after things, after people, after your hobbies, like some people are so passionate about hobbies and things, and they think if they're not done this ritual, then they are gone. Some people say, oh, unless I walk every day, I don't feel good. So they're dependent on walk. Then walk is their bondage. Unless their walk goes away from them, then only they can be free. Very, very small things people are bound to, very, very small. So look, our job is not to look what we are having bonding with, but make the bonding with that infinite, not with the finite things which definitely, they will leave you. Like people love golf and they love playing, and then suddenly their wrist is broken and now they're depressed, and how can they play? So have interest in something, even if this body leaves, that its interest stays. That eternal thing, eternal. Don't be after finite things which are definitely going to leave you. Today or tomorrow, definitely. All these interest about things is coming from the body or the mind. Finite things. If you hold on to finite things, then you become finite. You hold on to infinite, you become infinite. And there's only one infinite thing, is God, or that pure awareness. And rest, all of the interest and all of the things what we do are finite only. Finite will make you finite, infinite will make you infinite. Eternal will make you eternal, because what you hold on, you become that, isn't it? So it depends where your interest is. If your interest is in something eternal, you become eternal. You get all the qualities of that eternal. You become eternal, you become compassionate, you become unconditional love, you become all those qualities, fearless. But if you hold on to finite, you become finite. It's your choice. And the finite things, those transient things, will disappear soon. And if you hold on to those, you will disappear soon, because it's just your belief system working now. Because your the body mind is body born and will decay, and you are holding to body and mind, you will decay. Holding to eternal, you will stay eternal, and the body mind will dissolve. So depends. Look, this is the choice. Here is the bridge. You can't hold on to both. Have you ever seen an eternal being living in the body forever? No one. Like there are yogis which can live for a few hundred years, but that doesn't mean anything. Even everything has a life. Even Brahma, even Vishnu, even sun, moon, the celestial beings, they all have a lifespan that might be thousands of years, but still it's finite. So to get to that infinite, have relationship with the infinite. And such an intense relationship, like you must have heard people like, I don't know, you can Google it, Mirabai, or Surdas or Tulsidas. There are so many people, what their love for the divine was. So if you have that love, if you have that connection there, then this connection will just go away. You will be disconnected from the word. So it is your choice actually. You have to choose. You can't have a lukewarm approach that, okay, I will continue with this word and I will be a Sunday Christian or a Tuesday Hindu. That doesn't work. It is all or none. You choose, you sit, you write a journal, you decide what you really want to do. If there are some unfinished tasks you think, it's better to finish it. If there are some unfinished enjoyment in the word, better to finish it. Then come here when you are free. Now nothing else left. Okay, let's work on this path. Because this path is very simple, very humble. There's nothing. The God is always waiting for you. He's just waiting with his open arms to hug you. But you have to finish all the tasks, what you are thinking, they are so important and I have to do. I'm not asking you to run away from your responsibilities, but definitely your interest in the worldly affairs, your own rag, your ras in it, your interest, your taste in it, that has to go. But don't worry about that taste. If your taste is in God, that will just disappear because it's a very higher taste, the divine taste. Nothing is equal to it. Nothing even comes close to it. But to get this addiction also, you should pray. Pray to that God that give me so much of something change in me, so I love you. I love you from my heart, and just change my heart for yours. Don't ask anything else from God. Just ask love for God. If you don't ask anything from anyone in the world, and you don't ask anything from the God, but you just love God, this is the way. This is the way for complete liberation. It looks like it's not non-duality, but it is non-duality. Because when you are attracted to that ultimate, you become that. Just like your body-mind right now, because you're so attracted to body-mind. And body-mind has been given to us and we are living in it because we had some attraction. That's why we were given this body. Otherwise, we will never be having a body. But now let's say we decide, okay, enough of all these experiences and enjoyment and sensory pleasures and all, and let's come back home. That home is always open. There is no closed door. The door is open. We just have to look within. That's all. And once you look within, it's you don't have to do anything. So the only thing which is making us, we are our own obstacle. No one else is creating any obstacle. There's no external obstacles. All what appears that hindrances, they are created by us only. We have like a spider web, and we are in this. But if we want to come back, nobody can stop us. Nobody. So look within and just see who we are, and always behave in daily life. From morning till evening, you go to bed as awareness, as pure awareness. Stay still there. Don't run for anything. If something comes to you, it's good. If something leaves, because look, what maximum bad can happen if you are not money-minded, if you are not worldly-minded? What will happen? You will be dead. Maybe nobody is feeding you. You lost money, house, and you will be dead. Is it a big thing? Do you think you will be alive all your life? If in the pursuit of God, if you are dead, that means this body is dead. How? It's nothing big. You have been dead millions of times. And let's say you do all the stupid stuff and, do all the fraud and do all the wrong things in the life. Will you be alive forever? You will still be dead. So you're not losing much in love of God. Anyway, you will be dead soon. Whatever you do in this world, you will be dead. And let's say you love God and there is a slight risk of death. not a big deal. But maybe this time, this death might free you. So there's no, let's say people, who are business minded, they have this risk, profit and loss. They assess whether, it's a good deal or not. Have a look, whether it's a good deal or not a good deal. We have spent so much time and we are all very clever people and we have seen how life goes. We look into everything, whether, how much is gain, how much is loss. Look, how much is loss. The body mind, maybe you might lose body, that the situation might be so bad if you are not worldly person. It's not a big deal anyway. The body has to will leave you. Even if you don't want to leave this body, the body will leave you. It is actually leaving you every day. The moment we were born, it's born to die only. How long can you hold with this body or this word? The word is changing all the time. You make friends, you have relatives. How many people, all of us have seen our relatives dying or dead already? How many of people we know are not in this world? So there is nothing to lose in love for God. It will be eternal freedom if you look within and just go deeper. Once you have this complete turnaround, there is no looking back. It is a one-way path. And you become further mad only in this love. In eternal love, you see, it is actually infinite. This word is not infinite. The creator of this world is infinite. And his love is infinite. His compassion is infinite. Once you know that God, nobody can convince you against it. And you don't need any other proof for it because you have experienced. It's your own experiential understanding. So the connection drops from the word because what you were looking in the word is already there. Why we go after things? For happiness only. Whether it is money, whether it's name, fame, whether it's sex, whatever, it's only for happiness. We think this thing will give us happiness. But when you touch eternal happiness within, this actually drops all the connections outside. It works both ways. You start having vairagya, you have dispassion. Slowly, it's a gradual process. The changes, the personality change because there's no more person there. So it changes. Your anger drops. Your urge for sex and all lust and all those things drops. Your interest drops. You might be interested in so many things, it just drops. Remember, if this love for God doesn't change you, that means it's fake. Even if you don't want to change, it is going to change because the person is dissolving. It's melting away in that effulgence of God. So you can't stay like a person anymore. No personality stays. It looks like the body might be there. Maybe you might still eat the same food because of the culture or whatever, but those are not personality traits. Internally, that person has disappeared long time back. And it's not that difficult at all. It depends only on your interest. If our interest is in this pure self, things will change completely. One of the persons I know, recently he separated from his wife, and I had a very good spiritual discussion with him because I thought he would love. I said, this is the time to go deeper and contemplate and go deeper, and I'm going to help you. And we had a very good talk. Couple of hours, I explained him that beautiful time and go deeper. And he said, yes, I'll work. And he never met for next 6 months. And now I realize that he has found another woman. So it is all your interest, If your interest was there, you will never find another woman. How can? You're always here, You are going deeper within. You lose interest. Even if someone walks towards you, you will say, look, I have nothing left. Sorry. I'm nothing for you. I don't have any spare time left for anyone, not even for myself. How can I feed you, interact with you? I have no time left. Sorry. I have no time. And this is the beauty. You continue doing what you're doing in life, but you stay here. And it's not difficult. It's all about how much your longing, your urge to know that. So no action in the world can bring you here. And even this is not an action to stay here. It is not karma. It is not any action to longing for to know God is not a karma. It's not a good or bad. It's beyond all that. It's a divine play, and longing is something which also comes with grace. If you think you have less, I would suggest you to pray with folded hands that God, please give me that longing for you, love for you, more love for you, and show me your true self within me. And He will do it, because He always waits for people like us, How many people are interested? You are so fortunate to be born in Kali Yuga. Not many people are interested. And you know that rule of demand and supply? If there are too many people, then there is competition. Here there is no competition. Hardly anyone is interested. No one is interested. You walk around wherever you live, ask people, are you dying to know God? They will think you are mad or crazy. You need to see a psychiatrist. Who is interested? Nobody is interested. So it is so easy to get God to know, because He has no devotees. He's looking for you. Be the true ardent devotee, and He's already there. He's waiting for you. He's so close. He's the closest of close. And when you go there, you will realize this body and mind is so far from you. It appears it is close, but it is very far. But who knows this? The heart knows this, who knows that God. Intimacy, that atmiyata, intimacy comes with that God when you're always here. You are never alone. That is the thing. People say boredom when they are alone. Why you don't get bored when you are alone? Because this God can never make you alone. You feel so happy, so fulfilled, you're so contented that you don't feel that you need another person to interact or to deal. Why we need other people? Because we get bored. We say man is a social animal. He needs interaction. Yes, when he's with his animal instinct, yes, he needs people. But when he becomes godly, then he doesn't need anyone. He stays alone. He roams like a tiger or a lion, no herds, no need. And he's fearless. If someone meets, it's okay. Nobody meets, nobody likes him, no interaction in the world, doesn't matter. No fame, no money, nothing, doesn't matter. Nothing matters. When nothing matters in your mind, then the mind dissolves. If you are still attached to things to gain something, you must have seen some people, they always even talk their thoughts sometimes, oh, this man must be very, useful, and I should contact him, I should be in touch, or let's say hello to him. He is so and so. What is all that? Because you think that he will help you in some worldly affairs, somewhere, something, And then we have degrees and all those things to just on our business cards to impress upon people, so people get attracted towards you. I remember a lady who really helped me in my initial days in sadhana. Just I don't want to name her, but she used to come to home and we used to read one of the Indian texts written by Tulsidas ji, Ramcharitmanas. She said, rather than just doing self-inquiry, you should soften your heart with love for God. That was around 15 years back. And she used to come home and sit with me and my wife, and we used to go through that. And she used to say, how much love is in this poetry written by Tulsidas ji. Beautiful lady, you know, she was a very great sadhak. And I remember that when we built house, people came and they were seeing the house, and she was sitting on one quiet place and just watching the garden bed and just in contemplation. And when my wife asked her that, do you want to come? She said, I'm very happy. And people were so attracted to see what is there, what they have built and all these things. And that actually opened up my eyes that how beautiful this contentment within is. You are not interested, nothing attracts you. You're not after seeing anything when you have seen here, you know. So this is the beauty of this seeing, that all this drama or, you know, attraction in this world, nothing attracts you. So this connection drops and that connection established. I think they both work gradually. Your attraction to the world gets less and less, and their attraction goes more and more and more. But for some people, it happens very quick. The moment they get here, this connection drops and they are here. For some, it is a very slow process because they're still holding, they don't want to leave, and then they slowly grip, goes, and more love comes. And this is practice and perseverance and patience. So when we talk about patience and perseverance in spirituality, that comes because we have to have patience because we are still interested, you know, we are still putting our money into the worldly affairs. Gradually we are withdrawing, gradually we are going there, but that's also okay. But remember this, that all this worldly desires and connection has to drop to see the complete face of the God within. And it is very easy. It is the easiest and the simplest of things because it is the only true thing. We are not looking within, that's all. Let's say a lady has few kids and she is busy in her work and she gives some toys for them to play. If one of them starts crying for mother, what the mother will do? Mother will pick that kid up and hug. That is the same with God. God has given toys in form of this worldly affairs and He wants us to be busy. But one of them cry to know the God. He comes and hugs us, you know. That's what the God's hug is, to know the self. When we are not interested in any of these toys, when we are fed up of these toys and we cry, a genuine cry. How it happens, why it happens, to whom it happens, only He knows. Because that is also His grace only. He opens the door. He only creates the love for Him in some hearts. That is His grace only. So again, nobody can take a credit to know Him. Nobody actually, there's nobody left to take even credit when you reach there. Maybe that somebody starts this journey, and as this journey goes within the heart, that somebody becomes nobody. It just keeps dissolving like a salt doll going into the ocean and dissolving and completely dissolves. And it's such a beautiful process. There is no pain in it. It is painless birth. into this divinity. It is a rebirth, actually. It is like a rebirth. It is even hard to explain. It's, you know, that something has completely dissolved gradually, and there are changes. There are so many signposts, and these signposts can be different in different people. I can tell you, there can be changes in your digestion, changes in your sleep patterns, changes in the smell of your skin, changes on the glow of your face, changes in your eyes. Your eyes becomes more, goes up little bit. There are so many changes, and then there are changes which are better not to be describable, because it happens, different things happens to different peoples. But those doesn't mean anything, because those changes can be there and still you are too far. But still they are signposts. Maybe you are on that path, and you are going on the right direction. So many changes happens. Nothing remains the same. Even the people around you, the situation around you changes. He opens up the path for you. He welcomes you to the kingdom of God. And gradual process is good, because some people become a bit insane. You might have seen, I've seen people like, again, they look a bit odd, but they are connected with God, but the external habits looks like they are a bit mad. So when it happens all of a sudden to some people, I think in Bhagavan case it happened so quick, but nothing went wrong. So each to his own, and different experiences, but those experiences are of the mind, but still they hold some value, and you keep going within. And the only thing to know about this is that it is real. Like sometimes mind might say, oh, it's better to do some work, let's put some money in shares, we will get some profit. Why to just sit like this and contemplate on this awareness, and maybe I might lose some business. I'm saying, even if you lose your body, it's not a big deal. You will get that. How big that sacrifice would be, tell me. If you lose this body for the God divine, how pleased he would be, isn't it? Then definitely freedom is in your hand. But look, he's so compassionate. He has infinite compassion. Bhagavan went there without money, and there were so many people to take care of him. It happens with all of them. All of them. You have to have that trust in the God within. So I can only say that this is reality. That is the real truth, and all what we see outside is just to check us whether we are interested in those things. It is exactly like, if you might have heard the story of Mahabharata. One side there was a whole army, and other side it was Krishna, and he's asking whether you want the God Krishna, or do you want whole of this army. What do you want? That Mahabharata happens all of the time with us, whether you want God or whether you want the word. You can't choose both. You have to pick up one. But if you picked up God, then don't look for anything else. So this is not a path for everyone, and not everyone is interested. And some people come here and they have a lukewarm approach, and then they go back and they slip back. So this is the thing. Prayers have great meaning in all religions, and the prayer, a sincere prayer not to ask for your bread and butter. Maybe you can thank for your bread and butter, or dal roti, they say. But pray to know him. Pray that he reveals his true self to you. This is the only prayer, day and night. in no time you will see him. And you will see him in his full glory. And you can see him in the way you want. That is the other thing. You read about these devotional stories of people. They wanted God in a particular way and they saw in that particular way. That is also the thing. If you can call it duality, but there is no duality. It is your sankalp, the way you have thought about that God. He comes in that form to you. Whatever form you believe. And if you believe Nirakar, you believe that awareness, then you are already there. So you don't have to leave anything. Internally, you have to love God. More you love here, more things will leave you, or you have the detachment comes on its own. It's like a relay race, You're holding a baton to the God, and on the other side, it's just slipping off from the worldly affairs. The world is not the problem. It is our interest in the world. Sometimes we think the things around us disturb us. It's not that. People say we sit in silence, abide in silence, and the mind disturbs us. It's not. We have some interest. We still have some interest in things. That's why the mind keeps coming. Another important point to remember is this mind, body, ego, word. All this is transient only. It's impermanent. Holding on to these things makes us as transient. And this absolute awareness, the God within, it is permanent. It is eternal. If you hold on to that, you become permanent, eternal. So keep holding on to that by abiding as awareness, by in that neutrality of emptiness, in that choiceless awareness all the time. It is like sometimes you might not even remember what your name is or what you do. And sometimes things are happening and you are just watching. It looks like things are happening. You are there but not there. You're not doing and things are happening. This is the thing, like you look like you are a bit lost. Like a normal person going into that situation can think he is demented or he's a bit lost, vague. That is what this experience is. Because of no interest, you are not interested in that many things around you, so it does not register to you. You hear but not hear, you see but you not see. And this is the silence, this is the effect of that silence, because this is the beauty. You stay in so much of freeness within, so much of contentment that things happening around you don't disturb you. And sometimes the body is acting in a way which is appropriate for that moment, but you are still so detached that you don't even think you are part of that, whatever is unfolding in front of you. You stay in that emptiness all the time. It is hard to describe, but if you understand, you will know that you can be there but still not there. Not like you're thinking about something else, but there's so much of emptiness or that blissful peace in that half of the things happening around you, you don't even listen to them and they don't make any sense to you, so they just drop away. So many tasks drop away, and sometimes you will be amazed that these things really used to interest me and I have no interest left in them. But don't run away for those interests, just stay empty. One thing is for sure, you can't reach that Godhead with all your dramas from the past. You can't take everything there. They will just leave you for good. Have trust in your own search, and there's no one else who can help you. Even when Bhagavan was there were people around him who were just fooling around. When Krishna was there, still there were people who were fooling around. So even during Jesus' time, Buddha's time, not everyone who came close to him could. But yes, a person might have read Jesus now, his teachings, and he can get liberated now after 2000 years. And maybe a person who was moving with Jesus for many years would have left, in his body-mind complex. So depends how much you go within, and what factor does it. It's hard to say, but definitely your longing works. How much your internal desire to go there is, then every act becomes divine. Every act becomes act of God when you stay empty, when you stay there, and you're not looking outside that look, I should look this, I need this, I will go for this. Like you do essential shopping, and you can still do things, and you can still act, and you still do, and still you can buy a good thing what probably you think is you should buy or whatever, but no attraction is left for anything. You're not running for things. You can still lead a good life and a normal life. That balance also comes on its own. You don't have to decide about it. I'm not asking you to go on a minimalist view and just have very limited things, but it happens actually. But again, you don't have to decide. Something decides for you. Everything just happens. Someone else takes a decision for you, or something falls in place the way it has to be. And whatever happens is actually to help you to be more here. In hindsight, sometimes you realize this, when you are after something and something leaves, maybe a dear one leaves you, or someone, separates, or whatever happens, or you lose a job. But because your heart is here, probably those things which are leaving you, or those changes, are actually helping you to be more deep, sometimes even suffering. Suffering makes this journey quite fast. So let's sit in contemplation of that divine within. Sit in that divine. Only contemplate this emptiness, this silence within. Absolute within. Our closest friend. Our real nature. Our real self. Pure self. Abide in this pure silence all the time. This silence is like a screen. When you go through customs and your luggage goes through the screen belt, let all the thoughts, all desires, all attractions, guilt, shame, anger, greed, jealousy, everything should pass through this screen of silence. And what this screen, this belt, screen belt of silence will do, it will burn away everything which is impure. This is the power of abiding in pure silence. It burns away all the impurity. Always look from that standpoint. Abiding in pure silence. Seeing everything from there. Mind cannot stay in the self-effulgent light of pure awareness. This is the power of abidance. In your own silence, all praise to you, all glory to you, all power to you, you as pure awareness. You are not smaller than the God. Nothing is bigger than you. It is not ego. It is the God within. Purest of pure within. Trust and look within and stay within and be eternally free. You don't need anything from outside. Whatever you need from outside is already being given. Now just stay within, in your pure self, and don't move. And the job is done. Stay in your own eternal bliss. All the time. Staying here, you inherit all the godly qualities. You become that purest of pure. Not become, you are already that. But when you abide in self, all the impurities get burned. This is coming back home. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.